They are the undisputed giants of American history, the men whose names, Washington, Jefferson, Franklin, are synonymous with freedom itself. They delivered the most radical statement on human rights ever penned. All men are created equal. Yet, they owned other human beings. This is the paradox at the heart of America's foundation. Were the Founding Fathers the selfless heroes, driven by Enlightenment ideals? Or were they simply privileged elites more concerned with their own wealth and power? Join us on Worldwide History as we dive deep, seeking the difficult, complicated truth. To understand the Founding Fathers, we must first remember their brilliance. They were undeniably revolutionary leaders. They risked everything, their fortunes, their lives, their families, to break from the most powerful empire on earth. They didn't just win a war, they created a nation. Their first great achievement was the Declaration of Independence, giving voice to the timeless ideal that government must derive its power from the people. But their ultimate triumph was in nation-building. Through fierce debate and brilliant compromise, they forged the Constitution, a blueprint for a stable, self-governing republic. Each man played a critical role. George Washington, the unyielding military leader who gave the Revolution its backbone. Thomas Jefferson, the gifted writer who gave it its philosophical creed. And Alexander Hamilton, the economic genius who gave the fledgling state its financial structure. They built the foundation of American history. But beneath the marble monuments and the soaring rhetoric, a deep shadow falls. The founders were not just flawed, they were stained by an original sin. The contradiction is breathtaking. They fought for liberty while perpetuating slavery. Thomas Jefferson, the author of All Men Are Created Equal, owned hundreds of slaves at Monticello. Washington held slaves at Mount Vernon. They built their democratic experiment on the backs of forced labor. The hard question remains, when they penned those iconic words, all men are created equal, whom exactly were they excluding? The hypocrisy didn't end there. As the young nation looked west, the founders sanctioned the cruel displacement of indigenous peoples. They pushed for expansion, systematically seizing the lands of Native Americans who were not considered equal or even fully human in the vision for America. Finally, the structure of the government itself revealed a deep elitism. Only men of property could vote or hold major office. This was not a democracy built for the common man. It was a republic carefully constructed by and for a wealthy aristocracy. To judge them fairly, we must place them in time. In the context of world history, their commitment to a republic was radical. Monarchies ruled the world. The American experiment was a beacon. Yet, does context excuse contradiction? It's a necessary distinction. While they didn't live up to their ideals, they laid down the principle of equality, a principle that future generations will use to correct their failures. Some, like Benjamin Franklin, evolved, becoming outspoken abolitionists late in life. Others lived and died with their hypocrisy intact. Our challenge today is not to decide if they were good or evil, but to decide if we judge them by the standards of their era or by the ideals they themselves bravely proclaimed. The truth, as always, is complex. The Founding Fathers were not demigods. They were at once distant visionaries and deeply flawed men. They built the foundational structure of the world's most enduring democracy, but they simultaneously embedded deep injustice into that very structure. They wrote the promise, but they failed to deliver it to all. To truly understand America, we must embrace this combined complex truth, the triumphs and the terrible contradictions. If you found this U.S. history deep dive illuminating, please hit the like button. What is your final verdict? Heroes or hypocrites? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Next time, we journey into the shadows to expose the biggest secrets of the Cold War. Don't miss it. Subscribe now to Worldwide History and ring the notification bell.